Hello and welcome to this session of our supplementary elections coverage on Channels Television. I'm Ayo Makinde. Well, very interesting things have happened over the past 1-2 days in the build-up to and as well as the election proper that took place yesterday in 4 states for the governorship, as well as 18 federating units, that's 17 states, and the FCT yesterday for governorship and state constituency elections. Well, so far, one of the governorship elections has been elections has taken place, votes have been counted, and the declaration has also been made, and that is for Plateau State. Take a listen.
The following candidates contested for the governorship of Plateau State under their various parties, and I will call out the names and their scores. Number 1, Samuel Danuta K. Danauta K. 1,071 votes. He is of the ABP. Number 2, Dawa Yohanan D. AD, 229 votes. Musa Bitrus Joseph, AGC, 1,627 votes. Jonathan N. Temlong, ADP, 4,670. Alex Ladan, ANN, 2,273. Simon Bako Lalong, APC, 595,582 votes. Jerry Mambwe Motok, UPC, 34 votes. Isa Azuka Jega, UPP, 54 votes. From the foregoing, Barrister Simon Bako Lalong of APC, having satisfied the requirements of law and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby declared the winner and is in turn elected.
Well, that's the Plateau State governorship supplementary election result, and I guess that one can say that that concludes the process as far as the governorship election in Plateau State is concerned. That's 1 down, 4, 5 to go. We'll make time to see. But then, of course, many of us are not unaware of the fact that we've been following seriously the security situation all across. You know, we had some situation in Plateau, situation in Benue, a situation in Kano. The Kano situation is particularly touching. I guess all of these were put together by a local election observer group, YAGA, who is concerned about the security situation in the elections of yesterday, and this is one of the observations made.
YAGA Africa condemns the deployment of thugs by the 2 major political parties in the elections. Despite huge deployment of security personnel for the elections, political party thugs visibly attacked voters and disrupted elections in some polling stations in Kano and Benue states without any resistance or reprimand from security agencies. This is worrisome and raises serious questions on the effectiveness of security deployment for the supplementary elections. YAGA Africa notes with concern the possession of small and light arms by political party thugs in the elections. This illegal possession of arms poses a threat to political stability and human rights. There is a need to investigate the illegal possession of arms by political party thugs and hold their sponsors to account. In view of the contentious nature of elections in some states, INEC should strengthen its oversight on the result collation process. Judging from experience, collation and returning officers should be put under strict supervision as the collation process begins to halt any attempt to cancel vote arbitrarily.
Well, two comments were made, two particular references were made just now, and that's talking about collation officers and returning officers who usually have to go through a lot of fire. Well, we talked about a number of skirmishes here and there. There was a pushback we'll come to the very, very serious situation in Kano in a while, but there was a pushback in Bauchi State when some people attempted to disrupt the process in the electoral process in Bauchi State, and the voters, the electorate said, this is not going to happen here. Let's have a look.
Electoral materials arrive in Dala local government area late, and this obviously raises tempers with voters expressing displeasure over the delay.
Even now you can see a lot of chaos and a lot of people, and 90% of those people we are seeing, they don't have a card here to vote, but they are here. And we don't know whether, if you don't have a vote to vote in this area, why should you come in the first place? Rather, they were here trying to create, but they didn't want even the election to hold.
Some polling units had heavy security presence, while others had disruptions by thugs who were unwanted guests in their area. The Deputy Inspector General of Police in the state, Michael Ogbizi, confirms reports of the attacks, and he says the situation is under control.
Well, the crisis you heard about is either youth, underage youth, friendstones, and that one, pockets of them, and then that one is was taken care of, and it had no effect on the voting, on the voting at all. Voters turned out and voted.
A former governor of the state, Rabiu Kwankwaso, decries the high level of violence in the elections in some parts of the state, and he is calling the attention of relevant authorities.
There's very quite few places where there was election, especially here in the city. But the overwhelming places, there was no election because the whole place was taken by thugs. People were going around with ballot papers, with result sheets, writing what they wanted, and submitting it to the INEC officials. So our prayer actually is to see how this election can be cancelled and rescheduled again, so that we can have a better and, of course, free and fair election here in Kano.
Returning officers have begun to bring in their results from the local government areas in the state. The rerun election took place in 28 local government areas today in Kano State, and we're expecting that as more returning officers from the different local government bring in their results, the collations will start at the headquarters. From INEC headquarters in Kano, Nanchin Vincent reporting for Channels Television News.
Thank you, Nanchin. We also mentioned over and over again the situation that took place in Kano. Very, very touching, very disturbing. Should this kind of thing still be happening? Have a look.
The March 9th governorship and State House of Assembly polls may have come and gone, but it left behind a setback in 17 states and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. So, to make amends, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is conducting supplementary elections in the states affected. In the Bejuleki area of Lagos State, polls opened for Constituency 1 of the State House of Assembly, and though the process was peaceful, some Lagosians want to see an improved electoral process.
Some people don't know the importance of coming out to choose a leader. And if a few people choose a leader for you, definitely that such leader will govern you. So we need the government need to create more awareness and through the community leaders to let people know the importance of coming out to vote for a particular candidate in an election, during an election.
Next is Edo State, South Nigeria. The election for 12 units in Orionwa local government area got underway quite early as voters came out to cast their votes in an orderly manner.
They will have to learn with what has happened in the past election, when there was a lot of controversy, shooting of guns, fighting and all the rest. That was what actually led to the cancellation of all these units.
From Edo to Imo State, southeast Nigeria, elections into the House of Assembly is being held in 5 local government areas.
You can see the turnout is very poor because INEC did not give a wide publicity regards to this supplementary. And this is a village. A lot of people have gone to work or to farm. You understand me? So it's just people that are calling. You know, some will go from farm, they will come to do their voting.
Taraba State, northeast Nigeria is different as a high turnout of voters is seen, with some arriving the polling units before 6 a.m. The state constituency by-election is taking place in Usa and Adokola local government areas, and at the time of this report, collation had already begun. As the 2019 electoral cycle continues, the electorate say they want to see a closure to the State House of Assembly elections in a credible and transparent manner.
That's a panoramic view of all that's happened all over the place. We'll bring you the Kano report in a little more time from now. There was also a situation in Benue of what happened in the elections in Benue. Don't forget that state constituency elections held in 17 states as well as the FCT. Many of the results, if not all, have already been declared. But here is what happened in Benue.
Benue State in north-central Nigeria is one of the states where the supplementary elections is taking place after INEC declared the March 9th polls inconclusive. The people here in Mbalom Council Ward headquarters are heaving a sigh of relief as they exercise their civic rights in a peaceful atmosphere, and the reasons are obvious.
The election today is generally peaceful. There is a lot of security here in Agana Unit, Mbalom Council Ward of Gwe East local government area. Unlike the other previous gubernatorial election, today electoral materials are allowed here area. We started even voting. I personally have voted. There is no case. We have a lot of security on the ground. We have no hitches. We are conducting the election in a very peaceful manner.
The mood we had when those violent elements came and destroyed the election material, the mood was like when priests and church worshippers were murdered here in our community. We thought it was the same terrorists that have invaded our community. But we later discovered that they only were after the election materials and they left. But today, the mood is different. We can see security around, within our community everywhere, and every place is calm and we feel safe.
However, it is a different experience for the electorate in Chito Azendechi Council Ward in Nkom local government, where it is reported that suspected hoodlums burnt down electoral materials and INEC officials were lucky to escape attack by perpetrators of violence. The election in Benue State has attracted the attention of many following the violent incidents that have occurred in the state, as well as last-minute political intrigue, with mixed reports of both peaceful polls and incidents of violence in the food basket of the nation. The residents can only hope for a peaceful end to the exercise to close the election season in the state.
That's the Benue State experience so far. A lot more is yet to come. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.